welcome to another episode of Screw the Clout. Today is an episode I'm not gonna lie, I was actually very excited about and looking forward to. We have the one and only adult film star, Kayla Paige. Kayla Paige, welcome to the show. How are you doing?
I'm actually, if it gets a little loud, let me know. But I'm poolside at a villa in Las Vegas right now. My
Awesome.
girlfriend came into town and I was super excited to see her and her family. And so I was like, hey, she's like, I'm getting a villa. I'm like, okay, can I do the podcast from there? And she's like, absolutely. So this is where I'm at.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So
It's too hot for makeup, so I apologize, but here I
no,
am.
listen, I like it very intimate, so it's all good, all good. We're seeing the real you, and all of you, so that's pretty good. So that's good for me. So, what we're gonna do is, again, we're just gonna throw some stuff. The questions that I've been, like I said, as a person that grew up maybe watching some porn,
Right.
maybe I stumbled on it once or
Maybe.
twice.
Maybe.
How did you oh, actually, I don't know. Before I start, do you know Tommy Gunn? Are you
It
familiar with
was
Tommy
my
Gunn?
first white girl scene.
Get out of here. Me
Yeah.
and Tommy. I'm sorry, we interrupt.
Like Tommy the truck, right? Because there's
Yes.
two Tommy Gunn. Yeah.
So Tommy's in my Tommy, right?
Yeah.
My Tommy's he's in the porn star Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
He's probably about 57, 58 now.
Yeah. He was my first boy girl scene.
Get out of here. We actually, believe it or not, we worked at Chippendales together.
I believe that.
We were, I'm going back to the mid to early 90s. And no, not early, I'm sorry, late 90s. And then I don't want to get why he went into porn. I don't want to get into, that's his whole thing with me. But one of my dearest friends. So it's weird that he's one of my closest friends. And that was your first scene. I didn't even know that. So that's funny.
Are you familiar with Dan Peterson, the photographer that also worked for Chippendales?
Yes, I am. I know Dan.
Okay,
I
so
don't know
he
him
was
well.
one of my first photographers.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
he used to shoot my cat fight stuff and my wrestling stuff.
Oh, that's crazy. Right?
Yeah.
What a crazy small world, right?
6
Tremendous.
degrees, right?
Tremendous. Yes, absolutely. So what inspired you, or what got you into porn, and how did the whole thing even come about? Because I have so many questions.
Okay, well, such a complicated question. The easy answer is like what people mostly want or interested in is like I called the number at the end of a VHS. And I was like, how do I get into this? Because my boyfriend was like, you could do that as long as you do girls. Like, I don't care. And I was like, you're right, I could do that. But the real answer is that I had a really terrible relationship with sex.
Mm-hmm.
My mother was very successful and a beautiful woman, and like she's a world champion skydiver. She was great at everything she did, but she was in love with love, and she was very free with her love, and she just was constantly trying to find someone that would love her, and she thought that was the way to do it. And I was constantly like having to fight guys out of my house, because I knew my mom was drunk, and like it was just not appropriate, and so like it was hard for me to have a healthy relationship with sex, and so as I got older and I figured out that, I was very attracted to women as well, like it got really complicated for me because I knew that like if I wanted to break the cycle, if I wanted to have a healthy relationship with like family and children, men in general, because at that point I was like, dude, sex is just what people use each other for. Like, this is bullshit. But I wanted to like change that. I wanted to have children. I wanted to have a happy family. I wanted a husband, And I figured out that if I did that, then I got to explore my sexuality in a really safe place. I got to be somebody different. None of my, background, none of my trauma came with me. I got to be a completely different person on film. And that helped me to figure out more about who I was. And I'm not saying that that's the right direction for everybody, but that was right for me.
Mhm.
and I'm really thankful that I was able to like have that opportunity to explore my sexuality and really get a healthier relationship with sex.
But what would you say is the biggest misconception about porn?
That we
From
everybody.
that you fuck everyone? Um,
Yeah.
but I'm saying, is there something even like deeper, like I don't know, like I said, some people just think like when you go on set, it's just like you know,
Free for all. Yeah,
yeah,
no.
no,
I'll tell you, I mean, personally, like I'm kind of one of the bitchier ones. I've been around for 20, almost 23 years now.
mhm,
And so it's like I've always had a strong backbone. And that's a big thing is like you have to have a strong backbone. You have to stick to your morals. You have to stick to your standards. You cannot do things when people want to see them because otherwise your asshole is going to be blown out in 3 months. Like everyone's going to pressure you. The first 6 years I only did girls and everybody said it was impossible. And I was like,
right,
I'd rather be broke than not be able to sleep at night. Like I'll do shit when I'm ready to do it, not when you're ready to see it,
right,
and
right.
like having that control was like really important to me. I also have ADD, so I have to ask again, what was the question? Because I totally forgot where I was going.
No, no, it's fine. I have an Adderall if you want. I could share with you.
I wish. Good.
Um, I have ADHD too. And I forgot the question. No, my question was: is there any
Oh, the
misconceptions,
misconception.
like somebody
Yeah,
watching porn that's a fan of porn,
right. Yeah,
uh, what they
they
would
think there's
think?
fluffers. They think
Say
that
that
there's
again.
fluffers. They think that there's fluffers.
Oh, okay.
No.
No.
And also like, there's no such thing as fluffers. There's women that are generous enough to, and they also just want to get their fucking paycheck and go home. So they're
Right.
like, whatever I have to do to get you through the scene. And I'm like that to a degree, but then I'm
Mhm.
also the girl who's like, dude, I've been around a long time. My job is my job. Your job is keep it up. If you can't do it, you're in the wrong fucking industry. Get out of here. I don't have
Right.
time for that. You know, I
So
don't.
would you say? All right.
I don't give 3-hour blowjobs.
So with that being said, no, that's great because with that being said, right? Is it very clinical when you're having sex on set as opposed to being intimate with somebody, in your private life?
No, I would say it's more clinical in my private life. Like
Really?
yeah, because people have a lot more questions and they're very unsure and like intimidated by the situation and that kind of thing. But on set, it's like as long as I trust my partner and I've worked with them before and I trust my director, then
Mhm.
it's like we know, like we go over like do's and don'ts beforehand.
Right.
We always make sure like this is what I'm okay with, this is what I'm not, this is where you're crossing the line. But everybody knows too, I'm kind of a bitch, so it's like no one really presses my buttons. They're like, dude, this chick will flip out on you.
Well, let me ask you a question then. So when you're saying there's do's and don'ts, right? Just because again, it's funny because I know now you're my third adult film star. I know. I'm good friends with Brittany Andrews, who's a fucking
Love her.
who love her. One of my favorite
We have
people in
a
the
great
world.
relationship.
Love Brittany. And again, obviously Tommy, who's on the other side of it.
Yeah.
Um, and he said he had some issues, with the whole Me Too stuff, which is to me odd with the whole porn shit because it's like, all right, fuck my,
Well,
you can fuck me straight on, you can do this,
that's
do
a
that, but
very
don't.
touchy issue. That's
Right.
a
So
very touchy issue because
right.
we
So
do
for
right.
you, right. So for
Yeah.
you, right,
Yeah.
if me and you were gonna have a scene, right,
Hmm.
and you don't know me, this is our first time we're working together, right? What
Yeah.
would you tell Steve, who's coming into set, who's a newbie? What again, how would you address me if I'm a rookie, what are my do's and don'ts?
You really want to know?
Yeah, yeah, what are my do's and don'ts?
This, okay. This is where I get bitchy because I worked with enough people now. It's like, my directors, the people on set, they know how I am. They know what I'll tolerate. They know what I won't.
Right.
And when I work with new guys, honestly, like
Mhm.
I stole like the welcome speech that I give from
Right.
my favorite producer, Mike Quasar, who's
Mhm.
known for being like a total dick. And
Right.
he always says to girls, he's like, dude, like, as long as you like show up and do your job, like, we'll be in and out of here in an hour and a half. I'll have your paycheck. We'll be good to go. Like, just do your fucking job. And
Right.
so I was like, I'm stealing that. Like, if you're going to keep booking me with new dudes, I'm going to let you know, like, first of all, don't tell me how old you are because they're always younger, because they're always my stepsons. Don't tell me how old you are. It's
Right.
fucking gross. And then second of all, I'm not going to tell you how to do your job, but you need to keep your dick up and like come when you're on command and period. Like I said, I don't do 3 hours of fluffing. Like I'm not, no, if you can't do your job, get the fuck out of here. There's always somebody else in line. I'll get a kill fee. I don't have time for you.
Oh,
But it's like,
but that's okay. So that's telling me to do my job. But is there anything that you would tell? What would you consider if we're doing a
and
sex
don't
scene?
take drugs. That's the other thing.
Right.
All these young dudes are doing, like, I had a dude that popped 4 Viagra
Oh man.
to have sex in a scene with me and a Ukrainian girl that was like insanely hot. And
Mhm.
he's like, after that, like he couldn't even perform. And then he's puking in the bathroom so he doesn't have a heart attack. And I'm like, are you kidding me right now? You're 22. Like, get out of here.
Right. But
You know?
oh, I get that. So those are the things that you do your job, to stay hard, get it. But
Yeah.
is there anything that if I was with you and we were doing a scene that you would consider, that's not, no, yeah, you just crossed the line, even though we're actually fucking.
Well,
What's
everything is
crossing the line?
everything. Oh yeah, no, there's tons of things. If there's always the conversation beforehand, and if you do anything that we already said is a no, and we go out of a checklist, it's very like, and
Well,
a
what
lot of
is
times
that? That's what I'm trying to get. What is that for
a
you?
checklist is like, it's like, okay, what are your no's? So for me, if I don't know you, you can't touch my throat. I don't
Okay.
trust you. I
Right. All
don't
right.
know
That
that you
makes sense.
know,
That
like
makes sense.
there's a way to choke and there's a way not to. And if you don't know how, you can
Right.
break my windpipe,
Well, that's
and
right.
right. I don't, like, don't touch the top of my head if I'm giving you a blowjob because, like, I will throw up on you. Like, I can deep throat myself, but like, if you're trying to help me, like, it grosses me out. It fucking makes me angry, and I'll puke on you.
Right.
Like, there's a way, and the other way is like guys that I have worked with before. They know, like, grab underneath, pull my hair a little bit. It's like there's that exchange of like understanding how to work with some talent, but it's
Hmm.
like that's a trust that's earned. You know what I mean? Like, you don't get to pull everything out the gate, and everything is very specific to the scene. So if it's not an anal scene, don't touch my ass. Like, it's basic shit.
Right. Right.
It's really basic. Don't bite me. Don't leave marks because I have another photo shoot. So I can't, like, don't waste my money. Don't waste my money. Don't waste my time.
No, that makes sense. See, again, I didn't even think about the throw thing. I'm thinking about like, you can't do a certain position or whatever, is
Well,
there,
I
it,
complain. I hate doing cowgirl and reverse cowgirl because, dude,
you know
I'm
what's
fucking.
funny? You know what's funny?
Mhm.
That's exactly what Brittany said, Brittany Andrews.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you
We're
guys
old
like
and we're lazy. We don't want to.
what is it about the reverse cowgirl that
Fucking pain in the ass. It's a lot of work. You're in shape. It doesn't matter to you. I don't work out. I don't want to do it.
so all right, so it's more no, she said the same thing. That's why I'm laughing
Yeah.
because she said she hates doing a reverse cowgirl. So
Right.
again, it's just funny that you guys I knew you were gonna say that for some reason. Um,
Yeah.
because again, you guys, are probably in the industry about the same amount of time. Um,
But that's the thing. Her and I were old school girls, and so like we can get away with that. The new girls, it's like, nah, bitch, you gotta earn the right to, like, you gotta go to work. Like, we
right,
had to do all that shit a long time ago when like features were a big thing. So we were doing it for like a half an hour at a time. Like, now you only need 2 minutes. We don't wanna. We already did our work. You know
right.
what I mean? Like, we're veterans. We can kind of be a little saucy.
No, no, absolutely. Listen, absolutely, without a doubt. Now, uh, privately, you had mentioned that meeting guys. I don't know if you're single now or you're with somebody, but
I am
um,
single.
you're single. So is it hard? No pun intended. Is it hard? But is it hard to be with a guy? Is somebody like they think
Well,
about it too much? Are they intimidated? Um, Thinking like, oh my God, she was with X amount of people. They might have 15-inch cocks. I don't, she's so experienced. I don't want to look, whatever. Does that come up? I would say I would be shocked if it did.
Absolutely. It does come up, you know, but I'm also like, I'm a serial monogamous. So like, I mean, my first relationship I was in for 3 years. My next one I was in for 4 years. My relationship after that I was in for 8 years. And then I was in another for 10 years. So this is the first time in my life that I've really been single.
Okay.
Fucking bugging me out.
You know
Like,
what's
I
fun?
love it, but I hate it.
No, you know
Like,
what's
I'm so
funny?
used to, like, having a family and taking care of other people and,
Right.
nurturing that, like, just me, like, empty nested is crazy,
Well, let me ask
but
you a
it
question
does come
then.
up in relationships. Yeah. Like,
Well,
they're,
then,
it's big conversations about, like, do you understand what comes with dating a person like me and things like that,
right, right.
Yeah.
Well,
And it's fine.
well, then let's go back the other way then.
Okay.
Again, because again, I'm only using these people as reference because we talk about it. So that's why I have some knowledge. Like Tommy, and I always thought it was crazy. He fall in love with somebody. He had a girlfriend who was
Mhm.
also in the industry. And again, I was out of my mind because he's letting her do whatever he's got to do. But I even forgot what his thing was, but if he did that, then he had an issue, and he would go address it with the guy. So
Tommy's
what
very
was
sensitive.
right? So what was your issue? Not your issue. Let me take it back. What was the person you were with's issue? While you were going, hey, hon, I'm going to set. I got to,
Right.
a menage a trois tonight. In the next scene, what was his response? Like, what is he? All right, have a good day, hon. What is the response?
Um, I mean, through different partners, it was different things,
Right.
all pretty much all my exes, except for, well, the last two were very successful.
Mhm.
And, one's a big rock star, and I was with him for 10 years. A lot of
Right.
people know, but like, it was hard, when I was like, I still need to make my own money. Like, I don't want to completely rely on you. And, I was respectful, and I've never, I'm pretty much one of the most like vanilla girls you'll ever meet, like from the industry, but like, it's still a lot for any man to consume that like your partner, the person that you love is going out doing these things. And it's really difficult. It's so much open communication about like, do you understand that I go to work and I do my job? Like it's literally me being a different person,
Right.
like, so I don't have like attachment to sex in that way,
Hmm.
you know, which
Right.
is kind of a warped way to be, but it's very transactional in those circumstances.
Right.
And there was times when, I'd have a hard day at set and I would come home and I just wanted to be held. And it was difficult for my partners to want to understand that. You know what I mean?
Right. No, I
Because
got
to them, it's like, they're battling their own demons of like, oh, you just went and did this, but then you're asking me to be consoling. And, like that's a difficult,
you. Of course.
transaction
Of
in their
course.
own brain.
I mean, you have to be like again. I keep using other analogies. I met my wife when I was stripping. I was actually married twice, and I met both wives and my in-laws and everything stripping. So
Right.
you had again. Those are some Sunday conversations in the beginning, some Sunday macaroni
Right.
conversations.
I met my ex-husband, my daughter's father at a strip club.
Right.
And then my other husband I picked up at a show on the beach. And then my next husband I picked up at a funeral. So
No, there you go. So there you go. So
a classy
my
girl.
point is, um, every weekend, instead of us go like normal couple, I'm going
Yeah.
out and stripping and getting my ass slapped, my junk pulled once in a while, whatever. So the point I'm talking about is you have to be a very secure person for that,
Yeah.
let alone taking it a step further to
Right.
what you do. So
Yeah.
again, I give kudos to those guys
Yeah.
because you know,
It's
I've done a lot of crazy stuff,
yeah.
you know, and
My
'cause I've been in a
son's
lot of,
father, my son's father used to roadie for me when I was featuring, so he'd like pick up my money.
right, and yeah,
He's the
right,
coolest ever, and he's super successful in his own right. But he just like he loved like having a good time and just like saw no shame in it. He was like, "Bitch, make your money," like. But he
right,
wasn't, I was only doing girls when I was with him too. I think I started
right,
doing guys a little bit later, but like
right,
it was always conversations about what are you comfortable because I want to respect the people that I'm with, like
sure,
but at the same time it's like if you want me to go make money, understand that this is how I make money. Like I'm not working at fucking Jack in the Box, like this is what I'm good at, this is what I know, this is how
right,
I excel. Take it,
right,
leave it, do what you want with it.
right. So, but I give, again, not to be repetitive, I definitely give them kudos because I was just stripping. I wasn't getting naked. I wasn't putting my cock in
Right.
someone. Um, so whoever you were with at the time in all those relationships
Yeah.
had to be very secure because,
Strong man. Yeah.
and
Very
again, right. I'm pretty secure in life. I don't even know if I could do that. So
I don't even know
again,
if I could. I couldn't date a
right,
male performer
right.
ever.
So, right. Because when it's us doing it. So we don't give a shit. But
Right.
on a reverse, I don't know if I could, you know what I mean? So,
I need normality at home. You know what I mean? Like I
right.
need something that's not that.
Right. And it's funny because as crazy as again, situations I've been in, and I'm sure off camera, we could, if we ever, I see each other, we could share a lot of crazy stories. But as crazy as I am out there, I'm a
Right.
very traditionalist with
Same.
my normal relationships. And
Right.
yeah, so again, that's why, where I was going with this is speaking about your partners and your husband and all that stuff. I give them, I give Toronto kudos because,
Me too.
I
Me
don't know if I
too.
could have done it. So, but, so if you were breaking into the industry today, what would you say? A, well, two-part question, and if you forget with the ADHD, I'll come back with it. Two-part
Right.
question. What
Mhm.
is the biggest difference today than when you
Mhm.
started? And
Mhm.
two, if somebody came to you today and said, listen, I want to break into the industry, would you recommend it? So let's
Oof.
start with one. Let's start with you telling me the difference between today, as we speak in 2024, as opposed to when you started. What would you say are the biggest differences?
Oh my God, there's so many. Social media and all that wasn't a thing,
Right,
at all.
right,
We would show up once a year at the convention and have to talk to our fans then,
right,
and that was now it's a 24/7 job. Like you constantly have to be in interaction. You constantly have to be like, showing yourself in some sort of, way, your regular life. Like people didn't have that access before. Like we were a fantasy and that was it.
right,
And I loved that, and that's something that I struggle with as like a girl who's been in the industry as long as I have is like it's a lot, like to just like have to show up and be on at all times of fucking day. Like it's
right,
tiring. And so I'm not the best at it for sure. I'm really bad at my social media. I'm really bad at all the things right now because I feel like my mental health is more important than like having to like contribute to everybody else's right now.
right,
And I'm going through my own personal shit that I just like, I take breaks and I don't care if anybody gets mad at me. I'm like, this is what I need right now. In
mhm,
order for me to show up for you the way you want me to, like, you need to give me some fucking space,
right,
but that's not a thing anymore. And so a lot of these girls don't understand how it's so all day, every day grinding, and I, I don't know how they do it. I give props to all the girls who are doing it, but it's so much,
right,
and
right.
then as far as like advice, to girls coming into
Would
it,
you
it's like you
would you tell them to do it, or would you try to talk them out of it?
it depends on the girl. It really depends on or the person, you know what I mean? Like it's like, are you ready for the commitment? I'll break down the good, the bad, and the ugly because like also there's like new STDs and there's all this crazy shit going on. There's just it's so much more competitive and there's so many more people. Like before it was a very small community. So the
Right,
testing process was easy. Like just don't fuck outside the circle. Like we're all
right,
tested. But if you're gonna fuck people outside the circle, you're the risk,
right,
you know?
Right.
and like be responsible. And just even like as a civilian, it's like, why are you guys not getting tested? Like the world is shady. Y'all are on singles websites and you're not getting STD checks. Like that's crazy,
Right.
you know? Like
Right.
it's like understand what comes with it, and also understand that like nothing goes away. Everybody who you don't want to see it is going to see it.
Right.
And everybody's going to have an opinion. Are you strong enough? And make sure you have a therapist because you're going to fucking need it no matter who you are, no matter how strong you are.
Right. No, I got you. I got you. Um, and here's another question I have too. Just going backtracking to what you said earlier. Because I'm in the regular, I'm in the normal, not the normal film business, but I'm in the film business, and oh, I do direct, right? So obviously I direct scenes, um, do all that. Not, I have to do a little of everything, but mostly direct. Um, you said something before that you have to trust your director, right?
I have,
You have to trust your director on set.
yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Why is the director so important on a porn set? As what does he bring to the table?
A lot of things. First of all, they're the ones who request the talent. So they know me as far as my performance and who's
Mhm.
going to look good with me or not, you know? And so
So that's
that's a
not
big
so
thing.
that's not a producer or the casting agent. That's the director.
It's the director,
Okay.
they'll throw the dates at like, the casting or not the casting agents, but like our modeling agents,
Hmm.
and then they'll see who's available. And they always have like an approved list of girls that, these are 90% of the time they have to go through the producers, which are like in some other country and
Hmm.
are gay and don't even care about straight sex and writing terrible scripts for it doesn't even fucking make sense. It's like
Hmm.
straight people writing gay, scripts, like that doesn't make sense either.
Right.
It's just stupid. But and so they have an approval list of like who they're allowed to hire. And then they send that to see who's available. And then they
Right.
have to match pairings to see, one, who's gonna look good together, two, who are they gonna tolerate, who puts on a good scene together. There's so many things that go into play,
Okay.
but also like the director has usually the final say so, on that kind of stuff. And also I need to trust my director that
Mhm.
if they see something going on that they're like, okay, this isn't right for the company, because there's a lot of different rules for different companies. Like some companies are like absolutely none of that, like, or absolutely none of this,
Mhm.
so it's like if you see something that's already going awry, like stop it so that I'm not wasting my time and neither is my partner,
Right.
and also like it doesn't become a liability,
Right.
so
Okay.
it's like, yeah, and the camera angles that are going to make us look good. So
Right.
if I look like shit, tell me to move, tell
Right.
me to
Okay.
suck in my stomach, tell me to
Gotcha.
arch my back more.
Gotcha. No, that makes sense. Hence a director.
Yeah,
So 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 a
open
couple
up
of
to the
questions.
camera.
Yeah. So a couple of questions I have. So if I now again, I throw all these hypotheticals. Now, when I was a kid, again, not a kid, but again, in the 2000s, early 2000s, right? If I
Yeah.
wanted to see porn, I used to like
Mhm.
be at a gym, and this Chinese guy used to come, and he would bring the DVDs, and I did,
Sure.
I would have to check the back of the DVD and look to see what the scenes looked
Yeah,
like to
right.
pick
Yeah.
which ones I was going to buy. Not that I never buy any, but just no. But anyhow, of course I do it.
It's
But
just
the
research.
point is now. Obviously, if I once we get off to here and I say, oh, you know what, I want to see four guys fuck a midget or
Right.
whatever I want, whatever I come up with, it's automatic.
Yeah.
So and again, you said something else before. There used to be scripts, there used to be like storylines, all this stuff. Now it's just like,
Yeah.
so how is there if I wanted to come in today and open up my own porn site, uh, is there even room to do that anymore? Is there money to be made with that, or
There
did that run?
definitely is still, but I mean, it's just like it's an oversaturated market. Like everybody is doing it now, and so it's like, yeah, you can still make money, but like you gotta hustle, you know. I mean, dude, I don't hustle nearly as hard as I should. I rely on my fucking reputation like an old slob.
Well,
Like,
listen, but
you know, but it's hard because it's like, yeah, if I hustled as hard as these other girls, I'd be rolling in the dough. But I'm just like, I can't. Like, no, like I don't want to. It's too much.
yeah, no, no doubt. Well, again, I mean, you've been doing it a long time.
Right.
And again, like anything else, again, I keep bringing stuff back to me, and because we're kind of relatable in a way.
I get it.
Um,
Yeah.
I used to, like I would have to do on Saturday, sometimes before I did the shows, I'd have to go to do a couple bachelorette parties, right?
Right.
And I did it since I started really young. I started when I was 18.
Same.
I did it to all the way till I was 40, but I was running the shows well. But there would be days I'm like, ah, fuck, I got to go to 3 parties, and my friends would be
Right.
looking at me like they're like, dude, what are you talking? You're going to dance
Right.
for fucking chicks. You're gonna hump them. They're gonna give you
Mm-hmm.
money, and
Right.
well, who knows what else
I feel
might
like you
happen?
don't get
And I'm like,
it.
yeah, I guess. But anyhow, I'm sure Derek Jeter, the end of his career was, fuck, I
Right.
got to put on my uniform. I got to go
Yeah.
through drive through traffic, go to the stadium. So
Yeah.
again, I get it. So I'm sure you get to that point too. So
Like
how
burnout.
many,
Yeah.
yeah, you burn out, whatever it
Mhm.
is. I'm sure anybody you speak to with anything,
Of course.
no matter how good the gig is,
Right.
how many times would you say you work a year?
Oh God, I don't even know the answer there. I haven't shot in, I mean, I shot photos the other day, but otherwise, and I shot photos earlier this year, but I haven't shot like any videos or anything in over a year.
Okay.
But yeah,
Why?
I mean, I just burnout. I was honestly like, it just got to the point where I was on set and I was like frustrated and I was just not being nice anymore. You know, it was just like, it's time for me to go. Like, I don't want to be here, you know, like I just need a break. And I
Right.
took like 4 years off before. And, you know, I've always, everybody knows like if Kayla needs a break, give her a fucking break because she'll be a bitch otherwise.
Right. No, absolutely. Absolutely. And again, um, I'm going to go back to Tommy. Um, before Tom, and again, I'm going to give him the credit and the kudos. Before Tommy, a lot of the guys pre Tommy used to
Yeah.
just be, like Ron Jeremy types, big fat bellies, out of
Right.
shape. As long as they
Hmm.
had, certain size dicks,
Right.
it didn't matter what they looked like because they were secondary. As long as they could do
Yeah.
what they got to do. And Tommy kind of changed things, I believe, a little bit because Tommy came in shape,
Yeah.
and kind of
Well,
trend.
there was a guy right before him, named Alex something. I can't remember what his last name is, but he was like a fucking Fabio and was like ripped. And
Right.
he was like an OG. And then Tommy came in and like, and that's the guy that kind of set the mold for that. And I
Right.
mean, okay, so oh God,
Well,
what's the
again, it's not
guy?
even about fuck. It's not even about Tommy. But my point is, back then, it didn't even matter. I mean, again, is at a certain point, pre,
Yeah,
as long as the guys had a big dick,
yeah,
and could perform, it didn't matter. You know what I mean? It was
right.
all about the girl.
Hmm.
How much would you say now, if at all, that the guy matters, percentage wise? So 100 being 100% it matters, 10%
Right.
meaning it doesn't really, on a scale of 1 to 10,
So
where does the guy rate now in porn?
I would say there's very few exceptions,
Hmm.
but right now a guy only matters in the scene about still to this day. I mean, back in the day it was like 2%.
Right.
Now it's like maybe 10%,
Really?
but there with certain male talent, it's
Hmm.
like 90%. Like the
Really?
Kieran Lees, the Johnny Sins, you know, like these guys, Xander Corvus, you know, these are like top notch contract models that, like, I mean,
Yeah,
Kieran's
but
dick is
Johnny,
insured for
I know
$1 million.
Johnny. I don't know Johnny since. I've seen Johnny since. I don't know. I might have crossed the porno he did on Pornhub. I
Maybe
might have just might have, but
breeze
he's not
past it.
really. Again, I don't. I mean, obviously he's well hung, but I don't see John. Again, I'm the first guy to give if somebody's handsome. I'll say he's a good
Mhm.
looking dude.
Yeah.
I don't think Johnny's like, yeah, he's just a regular looking dude, but he's got a big, to me.
Well, but the thing is, as male talent, his personality,
Oh,
like,
okay.
if
All right, well,
you're,
that's
you
even
know,
something.
that's the thing. We love dudes that like not only can, I mean, Johnny can pop, 2, 3 times. What? Oh yeah, double Tito's. Yeah, yeah, please. Love you.
That's fucking great.
Yes, baby. Thank you. Okay. Sorry.
No, that's okay. Yes, that just
Um,
happened. That's just how she's ordering drinks in the middle in a cabana in Vegas.
welcome to
Um,
my
so, so,
life.
so that's important. I mean, so again, a personality, yeah, you want a guy that's a good, fun guy to be with too. So that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah,
So,
and I want someone who respects me in my scene. And those guys are very respectful. That's why they continue to work they do. And they're reliable. You know what I mean? Like
right,
they show up, they're always on time, and they're clean. Yeah, she's like, and they're clean. um, yeah, they're clean, like they pull off everything they're supposed to. They check all the boxes,
right,
like,
right.
but yeah, newer guys and shit, it's hard. You really we have like all kinds of group chats and shit that all of us, are in, and we run by names and references, and we check and see like, how was your experience with this person? Is this person worth working with? Like, yeah, were they clean? Like there's people right now that are pulling false tests, so it's like it's a very dangerous environment right
Crazy.
now. Huh? Oh yeah.
Who is
Yeah,
that?
we're not.
Who is that? No, I'm saying, who is it?
Brooke Banner.
Who is it?
Brooke Banner.
Bring her on, bring her in with you. Slide her over a minute.
She can't right now. She's occupied. But hold on. Here she is.
All right, all right.
Come on,
Hey, Brooke, how are
baby.
you?
My
Nice
sister
to
from
meet
another.
you.
Hi. Sorry.
And we'll get you on. Yeah, we'll get you another time. So right now, what we do is we usually end the podcast
Okay.
with I'm going to give you 10 off the cuff questions, and
Okay.
they're really off the cuff because I'm fucking making them up as I go. So they're off the
Okay.
cuff. So
All right.
let's see where we get, and we'll go. So best porn star you ever worked with, Mel?
Brooke Banner.
Oh, is he there?
Yeah, baby.
Oh, he's there too. Okay. Could you let's pop? I don't know who that is. So could we pop in?
Oh, she's the one I just showed you.
Oh,
She's
no,
the
I
one
said the best male,
Oh, best male.
best male.
Johnny Sins. Johnny Sins.
Johnny Sins is the best. It's funny again. It's funny because I've seen people like Alexis Texas and all these people. They
Yeah.
all praise Johnny Sins. So
He's the best.
yeah, all right, good. Best sexual position you on set.
On set.
On set.
Yeah, doggy.
Doggy
Yeah,
style.
doggy. Yeah.
Is it easy to come on set? Or
No.
right, because why?
Because it's work. I'm an actress. Like,
Right. No, well, again, I had to cry on set as an actor. I've cried.
Gotta fucking tell it. Yeah.
Okay. So biggest difference between sex on set and intimacy at home.
Intimacy.
Intimacy, okay. No, listen.
Literally. It's not intimate on set. Like there's like in between,
cameras,
like,
there's fucking
shot. There's like 5 dudes standing around talking shop while this guy's like jerking off trying to get there. It's not intimate.
right. The biggest turn off about porn.
STDs.
There you go. I'm just is there an age limit of a guy that you wouldn't have sex with on set? Like
No.
if somebody brought in like an
Well,
18-year-old kid, would you do it?
As long as I don't know. As long as I don't. I always tell the guys, I'm like, do not tell me how old you are because it'll fucking freak me out. Don't. My daughter's 20, so I'm like, I don't want to fucking know, dude.
Right.
Yeah.
Worst experience on set.
I
Like
had
with a guy.
With a guy.
What was it? Yeah.
A girl miscarried in my mouth, but you want to know about a guy?
No. Let's go to that. Oh, my next question was with a female. So the worst
Yeah.
experience with a girl is you got miscarried in your mouth.
Yeah, I was eating around and they said, stop, we have blood. And I said, no, it's no big deal. Just go put a sponge in. And she goes, you don't understand. And I was like, what do you mean? And she's
Oh
like,
my
I'm having
God.
an abortion next week. And I was like, oh, fuck.
That's pretty bad experience. I just I just had a little throw up in my mouth.
Yeah,
That's
right.
fun. So worse
And with
and worse for the guy. Yes.
I threw up on Herschel Savage during a Penthouse shoot, but I kept telling him, "You're stop making me deep throat you because I will puke." And he did it again, and I sure enough threw up on him.
That must have been lovely.
I just didn't care.
No,
I
listen.
was like, "You asked
Listen.
for it, bitch."
Yeah,
You know,
listen. Yeah,
sending out vile
absolutely.
Kayla.
Work. Maybe we'll say this, maybe we can't. The actor, porn star, male, who came with a big reputation that was disappointing.
Oh, I wouldn't say it anyways, but like honestly, I don't really have one. I mean, us girls, like we're so close, and we really, we put it out there to each other, like this, and we also know each other's work. So we
Right.
know like, hey, you'll be good with this guy, but this guy don't fuck with. Like I can do it, but I know it's not your type,
Right.
So like we're respectful about like each other's, boundaries.
What is the most the craziest thing you ever seen on a set? Like something that you just like that just kind of like you're like,
I
wow.
think there was a miscarriage in my mouth was the craziest. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we could beat that one.
No.
Well, I don't even think that one could be
Mouthful
beat.
of baby pretty much beats everything,
Yeah, I think so. I think you beat like everything I've ever heard. So there you well, there you have it, Miss Kayla Paige. Thank you so much for coming on. I know you're out in Vegas having a good time. I can only imagine what's going on the other side of the camera here.
Oh no, it's mom time. We're just being moms, and we got a bunch of babies here. We're just chilling. Yeah, we're
It's fine.
boring in real
Actually,
life.
no, it's fine. And me, you know what? Me too. My kids are out in the pool. I said you can't come in until I'm done because we have adult content. So
Right.
so listen, we get it. We betray some stuff, but once again, what I want to do is say, screw the clout. I want to thank our sponsors at Believe, our producer, Sage Spielman. And once again, if you dream out loud, you will be able to see this episode next week. We'll see you soon. Screw the clout.
Steve, do a quick give it a rate and review.
Okay. And do not forget to give us a rate and review because this is one of my favorite podcasts I've done in a long time.